Hello, everyone. This is Tarion Harden with Be Creative Art Center, where we paint, dance, and party. I am here today with Laila Dews. She is one of the participants in our Student Artist Feature Program. Hi, Laila.
Hey, hello everyone.
I am super excited to speak with Layla today. As you all should be aware, at Be Creative Arts Center, we introduced a student artist feature program this year. And Layla is one of the charter participants who were selected for that program. So I want you all to get a chance to know a little bit more about Layla, okay? She's an artist, and we're featuring one of her art pieces. And so, Layla, talk to us, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got into the arts and how you feel about being selected for the program.
So I've always been a artsy type of soul, Growing up, I was that kid who always doodled on her pages and stuff. You will see like all these doodles that like when I would be doing my homework, I'd get carried away and just like do these little doodles and stuff. I've always like growing up, I know my mom, she always used to put me in these art camps. My dad was also he did poetry and he also like painted here and there. So just looking at him do those things really inspired me. Yeah, and I'm really honored to be able to get my art featured, get one of my sketches featured on the Be Creative Arts Center program. I really appreciate that. And I really, the art that the Divine Feminine, it really gave me a chance to kind of represent, especially Black women. It's because I love big hair altogether. That's really what inspired me. And it was really just appreciating like the features of Black women and, really appreciating the beauty in Black women because I feel like we always need that recognition. We need that inspiration, and we really need to appreciate just the beauty in Black women altogether. So I feel like when I get carried away with all these doodles, it's kind of just appreciating the beauty, and it kind of helps me appreciate myself as well because sometimes Black features don't get as much recognition. So it just helps me with that. So yeah.
So, Layla, speaking of Black Beauty, I have to show you all what her selected piece is. So, her piece is Divine Feminine, Divine Feminine. And when she referenced Black Beauty, this is definitely a representation of that. So, Layla, our artists were able to submit 5 pieces, a minimum of 5 pieces, and Layla submitted some drawings and a painting. You do a little bit of both. So, talk to us about what inspires you in general. You talked about doodling, and you talked about you've been doing art since you're still young, by the way. You're a kid. But talk to us about what is something that really just helps drive you to create art. What motivates you when you're working on these pieces? What's that thing that gets you to say, okay, I'm getting ready to do this?
Something that definitely drives me is that art to me is a form of like releasing those emotions in a different way and expressing myself in a different way. So when I kind of like draw and when I kind of like paint, it helps me really like release and like whatever emotions that I'm feeling at the moment, whether it's like beauty or sadness, anger, happiness, even. I kind of just I can't explain the emotions, but like it just appears on paper, whether it looks like that emotion or not, but like it kind of just appears on paper.
I hear you. I like one of the things about painting, so I doodle too. I draw and I paint, but I paint more than I draw. But it just relaxes me. It's therapeutic. Sometimes I find myself not waking up. I'm painting, and the next thing I know, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
But
So I
like
get lost
where
in
the
it.
time go? Yeah.
So you mentioned to me that your parents were big contributors to supporting you in the art camps, and your father being a poet. Talk to me a little bit more about. Tell everybody how we came to this particular program and you being in this program.
So, this particular program, my mom had also, she was kind of like looking around and she saw like, oh, this is a really nice center. You see that they really inspire people to get creative in different ways, dancing, painting, doing little paint parties. And she saw like, oh, this is a really like nice business. So how about, let's try to like talk to her about, maybe putting your out there for one of these paint parties. And it was really like a great thought because it's just nice because like I said, art is a form of releasing for me. So for people to be able to look at my art and be able to paint those like, paint in the lines with that and release through my art, it's kind of like in a way I'm like connecting with the people painting in it in a way, and like they get to make it and customize it to become their own too. And I feel like that's just a very heartwarming thing. I don't know. It's just a really like connecting, heartwarming type of thing. So I really was inspired by seeing your art on Be Creative Art Center, and it really inspired me to want to put my art out there as well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. That's definitely support for you. Layla's mom was one of our, she's a great supporter for Be Creative Arts Center, and she reached out to me and shared that her daughter was a creative. And I had the opportunity to see some of her work, and we just partnered together. And then this program came about, and we're going to keep it going and keep it growing. And so I'm super excited that we had an opportunity to feature work from Layla as one of our charter participants. So, Layla, you are a student in school. So, talk to me about your career aspirations and how your work and your interest in the art influences what you're choosing to aspire to do for a career.
So I am a graphic design major. I still am like fluctuating between majors and stuff because there's just so much in art. Of course, I'm going to be an art major regardless, but there's so many like aspects and parts of art that you can pursue. So, when it comes to my art and how it ties into that, sketching is kind of like something that I take very serious, but I also am very like serious about things like poetry. I
Mm,
really been getting into poetry, also film as well. And I guess like when it comes to my art, it's also one of those, like I said, one of those things I use for releasing my creativity. And so is poetry, so is film, because there's just, I guess I can say like the way it ties into it is just like another form as like releasing and kind of expressing myself, just as graphic design would be just putting things together and making it look like great, because that's one of my special talents and I can do that with so many things when it comes to art. So
So, what's the latest thing you've been working on, or what's something you've done recently in this space, whether it be drawing? You mentioned so many things, poetry. So, talk to me about your latest creative piece and what inspired it. What are you working on?
So lately, I have these little phases of like what I'm working on, but lately, right now, I'm really, like I said, into poetry and stuff. So when it comes to my poetry, I've really been doing this thing where I kind of like, when I'm upset, I kind of like write my feelings out. And when I look at that list and I kind of see like what I've written out with my feelings, I kind of take this word and make this word rhyme with this word, and I kind of put it all together. And it's really became a really good form of like it's, I don't know, it just feels very freeing. Like I really, and so I'll make that into a poem. And I've also been getting into songwriting too, because that kind of goes hand in hand. And I've also been getting into cinematography, and I'll kind of like record these little videos here and there. I'm trying to get like professional camera equipment so I can make it look good. But when I'll kind of like put the videos together, put some music over it. Another passion of mine, I love music, and I'll kind of like, it'll kind of create a visual for that poem and kind of bring it to life in a sense. I'm working on doing it in a more efficient way so you can really see how it feels and what I felt. But really, when it comes to poetry, I've really been working on that, and it's been very helpful for my mental health as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's so much going on in the world right now. We could use anything to help us to release and relax. And definitely the creative arts is a key contributor to mental health. I feel that way. It definitely keeps me at peace and calms me. Although I'm not a very temperamental person either, but I can feel that it really does something to me emotionally when I get into the creative arts. So I can feel you in that space. So I want to share with everybody. I mentioned again, Layla's piece that we selected, Be Creative Art Center, is Divine Feminine. And I want to encourage each and every one of you you can purchase a paint party to go kit and do it yourself from Be Creative Art Center and paint this painting. You can attend a scheduled paint party. Layla's Divine Feminine Painting is scheduled on April 7th with Be Creative Art Center. Virtual paint session you can attend from anywhere in the United States. We ship supplies to you. Or you can host your own private paint party, whether it's virtual or whether it's on site in metropolitan Atlanta, and you can choose Layla's painting for that as well. It's Divine Feminine. And we know if all of you haven't been in college, some of you have, and you know when you're in college, you can use some little extra duckies, help with books, help with some other things. We also help with our craft. We like to buy supplies and things. So anything you purchase from Be Creative Art Center by selecting Divine Feminine, a portion of the proceeds goes to Laila. So you'll be helping a student out, or you will be helping a creative out, or you will be helping an individual out. You'll be helping someone continue to grow in their love for the creative arts. So we encourage you all to support our student artist feature program here. And so Laila, we're going to be doing this. We're going to continue to do this. We've been in the program for just a short period of time right now. I would say 2 months, 2 full months. So, based on some of the things you've seen, some of the things you witnessed, what would you have to share with others if they were interested in participating in our student artist feature program?
I feel like definitely go for it because it is a really kind of it's kind of like it feels good because you feel very represented. You feel very like you're inspiring others as well to do art because at the end of the day, when you put your art out there, it's not only like people don't only like love it, they love it inspires them as well to want to do art themselves. So definitely put yourself out there and try to get featured because it you can inspire others and it's also an opportunity for you to be able to get the money for you to kind of sorry it's for you to kind of like um have that money to be able to invest in yourself when it comes to your art and it's really you want to be able to inspire others and invest in yourself and it's like going hand in hand and it can really like help out with that so
Awesome. So I just have a few more things to ask you. We're going to close out. If you had to describe yourself as a creative in one word, what would that word be?
Hmm. I would describe myself as spontaneous as a creative.
Yes, I
Yes,
love
because
it.
I say I when it comes to my art, it's never I probably need to work on this, but it's never like at a scheduled time. If I say it's always at like a random time, but I feel like it's always at the right time, like it's always like God always leads me for it to be the right time. Like it's very spontaneous and crazy, but it's the right time, like
Yes,
happens
yes.
all,
On time, all the time.
yeah.
On time, all the time. Well, thank you so much, Laila, for speaking with us today, for sharing a part of who you are as an individual, as a person, as a creative. We're going to bring you more, okay? This is just the beginning. There's going to be more. As I always say, today and every single day for the rest of your life, we encourage you to be creative. Woo! Peace, love, and blessings, y'all. Y'all check us out on BeCreativeArtCenter.com.